Imagine living on the streets, with nothing but the clothes on your back and your dreams to keep you going. For most people, it's hard to even imagine such a life, but for thousands, it's a harsh reality. Now, picture this. One day, someone you never expected walks into your life and changes everything. Someone like Oprah Winfrey. Yes, you heard that right. The queen of daytime TV, the billionaire philanthropist, the woman who's known for changing lives, walked up to a homeless man and completely transformed his future. What would you do if the person you admired most showed up at your lowest moment? Could this be a fairy tale or something even more powerful? Today, we're going to share the heartwarming story of a homeless man whose dreams came true when Oprah Winfrey showed up in his life. Stick around. You won't believe what happens next. This is the story of John, a man who, just like so many others, once had big dreams. He wasn't always homeless. In fact, John had a family, a home, and a job. But life can be unpredictable, and for reasons that aren't always clear, everything fell apart for him. John lost his job when the company he worked for shut down unexpectedly. His savings slowly dwindled away, and soon enough, he was living on the streets. No shelter, no family to turn to, just a cold sidewalk and the occasional meal from a kind stranger. Every day felt the same. John would wake up under a thin blanket, wrapped in layers of clothes he could barely afford to replace. He would shuffle to the nearest corner and beg for change, hoping that today would be different. But most days, it wasn't. The hardest part wasn't even the lack of food or warmth. It was a feeling of being invisible. People would pass by him, eyes fixed straight ahead, not acknowledging his existence. But John still held on to one thing, his dream. He dreamt of a better life, a life where he could have a job again, maybe a little apartment, and most importantly, his dignity back. But how could he ever reach that when every day felt like an uphill battle? John wasn't looking for a miracle, just a little hope. Have you ever felt invisible, like your dreams were too far out of reach? Let's see how things changed for John. Any day. As John was sitting on the corner of a busy street, something completely unexpected happened. It wasn't a man in a suit offering a few dollars, or a local church volunteer handing out sandwiches. This was Oprah Winfrey. Yes, the Oprah, the woman who has built an empire and touched millions of lives. She was there, walking toward him, with a calm and purposeful stride. At first, John didn't believe his eyes. Was this some kind of joke? Maybe a dream? But no, Oprah was real, and she was walking directly toward him. John's heart skipped a beat as Oprah approached him. He didn't know what to say. His mind raced. Am I imagining this? Is this really happening? He couldn't comprehend why someone like Oprah would stop for him. A man who had nothing to his name but the clothes on his back and the dreams that still lingered in his heart. Oprah smiled warmly as she reached him. She didn't offer him money immediately. No, that wasn't her style. She did something even more remarkable. She sat down beside him on the cold pavement, right there, in the middle of the busy street. She didn't rush to get up, didn't look at her watch, and didn't hurry off to another event. She simply listened. John didn't know how to react. This wasn't something he had ever expected. He stuttered out his story, his struggles, his dreams, the way he had been hoping for a chance, any chance, to turn his life around. Oprah listened, really listened, as though John was the most important person in the world at that moment. The world around them seemed to fade. People kept walking by. But John only had eyes for Oprah, the woman who had taken the time to sit with him, to hear him, to acknowledge his pain. Can you imagine what it would be like to have someone like Oprah sit down beside you and listen to your story? What would you say? After a long, emotional conversation, Oprah looked at John and said something that completely stunned him. She didn't just tell him everything would be okay, and she didn't give him a motivational speech either. Oprah, being the woman of action that she is, made a promise that would change John's life forever. She told him, "John, I want to help you, not just with a meal or a night in a hotel, but with something that will change your future For a moment, John was speechless. He had heard so many promises before, people telling him that they would help, but when it came down to it, nothing ever changed. But there was something different about Oprah. She wasn't just talking. She was showing him that she cared. Oprah didn't rush away to her next event. She stayed with him, took out her phone, and made a few calls. Within the next few days, John was given the opportunity of a lifetime. Oprah had arranged for him to stay in a comfortable apartment, one he could call home. Not only that, she had connected him with job training programs, and he was also enrolled in therapy to help him rebuild his confidence and self-worth. For John, this was beyond anything he could have imagined. It wasn't just about getting a handout. It was about being given the tools he needed to start over. Oprah didn't just help him get by. She gave him the means to live the life he had dreamed of. And, even more powerfully, she gave him back his dignity. John couldn't believe how his life had turned around in just a matter of days. What seemed impossible was suddenly within reach, thanks to the kindness and generosity of one extraordinary woman. Do you believe in second chances? Can a single moment really change everything? Well, John's life is proof that it can. John's life wasn't just changed by a new apartment or a job training program. Oprah's actions had a ripple effect, not only on him but also on the people around him. His story began to spread across the city, and soon enough, news outlets were reporting on the incredible moment when Oprah showed up and helped a homeless man get back on his feet. People from all walks of life reached out to him, offering their support, and the kindness didn't stop there. John, who had once been invisible to the world, now had a network of people who believed in him. Former strangers became friends, mentors, and even future employers. But it wasn't just about what Oprah had done for John. It was also about what she had inspired others to do. His story became a symbol of hope for many. It proved that even in the darkest moments, there's a chance for something better, as long as someone is willing to reach out and help. Oprah's action sparked a wave of kindness and compassion throughout the community. People began donating to shelters, volunteering their time, and spreading the message that everyone deserves a second chance. As for John, he didn't waste any time. He worked hard to stay on track. The opportunity Oprah had given him wasn't just about getting his life back. It was about keeping it. He took every chance to learn and grow, taking each step with determination and gratitude. Within a year, John had a steady job, a place to live, and a future he could finally see clearly. But more than that, he had a new sense of self-worth. He wasn't the same man who had once sat on a cold street corner. He was now a man with purpose, a man with a second chance, a man who understood the importance of kindness. John's story is a reminder that no one is ever too far gone to start again. And sometimes, it just takes one person, the right person, to believe in you and make all the difference in the world. How would your life change if you had someone like Oprah believing in you? Could a single act of kindness turn things around for you? As John's life continued to improve, he never forgot the woman who had made it all possible. Oprah's simple act of kindness, sitting with him, listening to his story, and offering him a hand up, changed his perspective on the world. It made him believe in people again, in the goodness that exists even in the most unexpected places. Oprah, of course, continued her work, helping many others in need. But John's story remained one of the most profound moments of a philanthropic journey. It wasn't just about the money or the material things. It was about restoring hope to someone who had lost it. So, what can we take from John's journey? It's a reminder that sometimes, all it takes is one person, one moment of kindness, to change the course of someone's life. That kindness doesn't always need to come with a big gesture or grand speech. It can simply be about being there, listening, and showing someone they matter. John's life was forever transformed, not by Oprah's wealth or fame, but by her compassion. And that's something we can all offer, regardless of where we come from or what we have. If you had the chance to help someone, what would you do? Could your act of kindness be the spark that changes their world? Thank you for joining us in this heartwarming journey of transformation. If John's story touched your heart, don't forget to share it with others. You never know whose life you could change by simply spreading the word. And if you want to see more inspiring stories like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Hit that like button if you believe in the power of kindness, and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. Have you ever experienced a moment of unexpected kindness that changed your life? We'd love to hear about it. Until next time, stay kind, stay hopeful, and always remember, you never know whose life you might change with just one act of love.